Hi there, welcome to the Ecological Corner by Daizy with a Z. So in today's video, we're going to look at 3 important concepts that can help us understand the various dynamics in terms of the interactions between human beings or anthropogenic activities as well as the natural environment. So in today's video, we're going to look at bioaccumulation, biomagnification, and bioconcentration. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you're convinced to stay. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So let's go straight into the video. Okay, so guys, bioaccumulation in simple terms is a situation in which living organisms such as plants, animals, birds absorb and they take up or store harmful substances from the environment, and these ones they take them from either water, food, air, everything that is within our environment that we use to access life in general. So what happens that over a period of time, these substances build up within the specific living organisms. Let's say in terms of, let's give fish for example. So just imagine this. I'm sure you're able to see this example. Imagine this fish is swimming in polluted water. Maybe there was hazardous waste, like maybe electronic waste, and then there was an exposure in terms of, let's say, mercury as a hazardous toxicant or hazardous substance. So what happens that this fish takes up this pollutant, okay, through its gills, and then what happens is that this mercury now will begin to build up and in the end cause the fish to accumulate a lot of it. So now if that is bioaccumulation, now what happens is, if let's say the fish that we're just from talking about is what consumed or ate the substance that is harmful, if a bigger fish now eats that smaller fish, you find that it now takes up that toxic substance or that hazardous substance. In this case, we're talking about mercury. So when a bigger fish eats a smaller fish that has accumulated a harmful substance, that process now is what they call biomagnification. So biomagnification happens when harmful substances such as maybe pollutants, in this case we've talked about mercury, okay, such as that, the concentration of mercury moves up the food chain. So as we know, human beings live in an environment. Let's say if I'm going to eat fish, that fish ate something and that something might have eaten something, okay. So in simple terms, let's give example of the fish and the polluted water. So small fish will eat the polluted plankton, for example, which was exposed to mercury. And so if bigger fish eats that, right, there's a build up of the mercury, and then in the end that mercury, now the concentration of that mercury increases.
The pressure increase or decrease? Yeah? Come again.
Increases, I think.
Yeah?
Increases.
So what this means is that the more larger animals eat the smaller ones, for example, and as I talked about the food chain, as we are going up the food chain, the concentration levels in terms of the pollutant magnify. They become bigger and larger. No wonder the word magnification, okay? That is what biomagnification is. So this now brings us to the word bioconcentration. So many times people confuse bioconcentration with bioaccumulation, but then the difference is that bioconcentration happens when a living organism, in terms of, we are giving the example of a fish, okay? So in this case, a fish eats or absorbs a harmful substance from its environment, and we know that the environment of a fish is mainly water. So as a fish exists in that water, and then maybe that water is polluted by mercury, as I already stated, the fish absorbs the chemical through the gills, okay? And then the chemical builds up in the fish within a certain period of time. So in general, bioconcentration and bioaccumulation are very, very much related, and most of the times they're actually confused for each other. But in simple terms, what I would want you to understand is that bioconcentration has to do with absorbing hazardous substances from the environment, but bioaccumulation has to do with accumulation from the food as well as the environment, because food exists in the environment. So that is the main distinction. When you're talking about bioconcentration, you rarely touch on the involvement of food. But when you're talking about bioaccumulation, food plays an important role in passing down a hazardous substance within our environment. But then the main question would be, what do human beings do? Like, what's the role of human beings? Human beings do everything through what we call anthropogenic activities, which are activities that have an impact on the environment. In this case, everything that I do on the environment will find a way to the natural environment, right? So what happens is that because the natural environment is also a place for other things, let's say we're talking about fish now. So if I dispose of hazardous waste, for example, I talked about electronic waste, and then mercury is absorbed into the soil, into the water and whatnot. That is the whole process altogether. It is an interrelated process altogether. So human beings have a big role to play. And as I'm talking about electronic waste, I did a video explaining what electronic waste is. So please do watch that video. It's a very old video, but you'll find it very helpful. So now take a minute, think about this. Where is your very first phone? And so in the end, I want us to just realize that whatever we do on the environment, in a way, one way or the other, affects us negatively or positively. That means it is you and I's role to safeguard the environment. I really hope we're able to understand these three important terms and concepts. And in this video or on this channel, we try to explain complicated terms, scientific terms, but then I try to bring them to you in the simplest ways for you to understand, because at the end of the day, what we want is for people to know what their actions are capable of doing, and in the end, prompting positive actions towards the environment. There you have it. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you've hit the subscribe button. I will see you in my next video. Remember to safeguard the environment, love the environment, and be safe.